So we just recently looked at a website of Roger Hall's artwork, and hopefully you had a chance to take a look at that. If not, go to the critique and I'll have the link on there that you can go to his website and take a look. He is a scientific illustrator, and what we're going to do from his illustrations is they are done in a stippling matter. However, some of them he's added color to. And so if you remember, stippling is the little teeny tiny dots used in order to create value within a drawing. So that's what we're going to do. And so you're going to need to do a little bit of research to find an image to use for this assignment. I'll go through the book here and show you some past assignments that students have done. So this is actually from Roger Hall's website. And so this photo here is of the student's dog. There's a photo that she had taken. And then when you're looking for an image to draw, be looking for a wide range of value from light to really dark, okay? And even in this photo, like the nose was fairly dark, the eyes were fairly dark, but she kind of gridded it out first. And then I took a photocopy then of her drawing when she was done. And actually, she ended up erasing those original pencil lines that you can see right there. But you need to interpret the value that you see in your image and how you're going to do it on your actual drawing. Okay, so just to take a step back, you're going to first start out with just kind of pencil lines. Now we use a grid paper first here in the classroom that kind of helps students, but if you don't have that at home, just draw it out the best that you can. Okay, so that was one student's interpretation. So again, you can use photos that you have taken. This image here was found on the internet, and so this student did make a little bit of reference to individual feathers, but didn't feel like it was all that important to do like what the original image was. And then also they didn't want to do the clouds in the background, so what they chose to do is just do like a nice little border to kind of frame it in. And since the eagle's head was white, they still needed to have a little bit of reference using the single stippling dots to kind of almost create this outline of the head of the eagle and a little bit of the wings there. Okay, so again, as you're searching for an image, make sure it has a nice range of value, because that's going to be very important. So here's this little critter, cute little giraffe. Now the student decided to put this little transition in value of stippling, so it was like you're at the zoo and the giraffe is sticking its head up over the wall looking at you. So that was a good idea. Otherwise it just kind of looked like the giraffe head and neck were just floating on the paper. So here's a couple of others, and I'm sorry, here I'll kind of try to turn this owl one, because I thought it was really cool how this student decided to kind of border with this real dark stippling around the outside, and then let it fade towards the owl itself. And I actually really like how that was done, especially like just kind of this gentle little wave. It just kind of mimics this idea that was also created with the wings. So again, great illustration of an image that has a nice range in value of really dark to light areas. Okay, and again, those little lines and the feathers were created with the tiny little individual stippling dots. Got a panda bear and nice little monarch there on the flower. When you're done, do incorporate your signature right in, sneak it right in next to your image. Now this one on the panda bears, The grass lines at the bottom are actually drawn with just lines with the Sharpie marker, and they just kind of wisped them over the top. So they did do stippling on the legs and the feet, and then they just kind of drew the lines right up over the legs and the feet. Okay, so if you have an original image that has grass like that, do know that you are okay to include lines just created with the Sharpie instead of making blades of grass with the stippling technique. Okay, so that's totally fine. Again, here's another image where the artist did that too with the Sharpie marker, just drawing lines. Okay, so cute little cat there. Beautiful image there of the tiger. And again, I kind of like how this person bordered this little raccoon in. Got a couple of duck images and a nice swan. Now, something that I want to talk about with the swan is that, yes, the swan is white, okay, but there's still a lot of value that the artist that did this one here in the classroom did some little dots here within the body, and then included shadowing. And then the other thing is, I thought it was really important to put that shadow on the water of the swan, and then just kind of letting the stippling dots gradually fade out. But I kind of love that little halo effect. It really makes the swan pop out. So that was very, very important. Otherwise, this artist would have had too many light values and not including some darker ones. Okay, so make sure again that you have a nice wide range in your value. We'll take a look here at this one. So this one, the artist allowed me to keep the original photo that she was looking at. And she did a lot of planning and trying to figure out how to create the peacock feathers. And again, this is all stippling. And then she didn't want to do grass and all that kind of stuff in the background there, but I love how she kind of bordered it in with the stippling dots. So for the fish, they just kind of did a nice even spacing there at the background. And again, the image of the fish has a nice wide range in value. So I just have a book full of things here that students have done in the past. Again, this one here is fairly light. The image was fairly light, so it was very important that they added these shadows underneath it and inside that water lily. This one here of the elephant was really cool, how they kind of did that background and the grass and everything. But look at all that value range in the stippling. Okay. And bringing me up to images of people with this assignment. It gets a little more difficult sometimes for people because you got to be really careful that it doesn't start looking like freckles, or the person has acne or the measles or chickenpox or something like that. So you got to be really careful with that. Beautiful little rose there. Some nice images there. So again, all of these that I'm showing you are ones that students have done in the past. So here's one of a nice dancer. This person was really into dance. So I think she pulled off a very nice job here with creating that value on the leg, and again, just making sure that, you know, it doesn't look like measles or acne. Nice little seahorse. Okay, so I think you get the idea. Pretty much anything goes for this assignment. You could also find a painting online that you like. So this one here is a study of the false mirror. So this was a surrealist painting at the top. And then what I did is I ended up like cropping it so I didn't have so much of that at the eye. So I cropped it, and then I had a nice range of value. And then here was my finished image of that. But then if you choose something like this that's from an artist, make sure that you give reference to it, because I said it was a study of, and then the artist name that did the painting, and the title, which was The False Mirror. 1928 is when this was originally done. Okay, so your preliminary submission, what I want you to do is find the image, send it to me, get confirmation from me that that is okay, because I'll be checking, does it have a wide range in value? And then I'll have you submit it again once you have your lines kind of sketched out on paper. Okay? All right. Good luck. Have fun. And we are using the ultrafine Sharpie marker for this assignment.